Through food, I've been able to find my identity. That duality between coming up in a West African home, but then being a New York City kid, wanting to be as American as I can be, but not running away from who I am.
We're here at East End Bistro restaurant, and we have some giants in the cooking game, and people who are just as passionate about representing the diaspora in their walks of life, and I'm excited to talk and cook for these guys. When I think about West African Ghanaian food, I think about my mom and my grandmother making benku and kenke, all these things that I grew up eating, and that was really the spirit of my restaurant and the cookbook as well.
I'm here in Ghana doing a series of photo shoots for my cookbook, Sankofa.
These are all Sankofa, different carving but the same meaning.
Sankofa is an Adinkra symbol, which means it's not wrong to go back for what you have forgotten. Basically, to go back and retrieve. The reason I chose this title for the book is because I really wanted to blend the traditional recipes and flavors of Ghana and West Africa with a lot of the contemporary things that I've come and learned to love with the ingredients, with the technique, with the flavor profiles of West Africa. I'm here working with a local photographer, and for the next 8 days, we're gonna be spanning the country, just going to so many different regions, capturing everyday Ghanaians, capturing the beauty, the nightlife, the grit, and everything in between that makes Ghana so beautiful.
We're here in McCullough Market. This is like the beginning. There's all this vibrancy. You can walk around. It's pretty intense. Produce is absolutely beautiful. So I'm really, really happy that we got a chance to be here. Hello, madame.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
This merchant was telling us that these two different okras. One of them is sweeter, one of them is a little bit more savory. And then aubergines, the garden eggs. This is pretty much eggplant, right? West African native eggplant. One of the more popular eats in all of West Africa. You'll see this pretty much all throughout McCullough Market. In every Ghanaian home, beautiful indigenous ingredients right here. And ingredients that obviously have made their way through the transatlantic slave trade. So you'll see different versions of okra stew. Gumbo. Gumbo actually means okra, you know, obviously the dish that we love and know and love from the South. So there's really, really different applications that you can use. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'll take this one. What do you call this one? Just your pepper.
Dry pepper.
Dry pepper, okay. You make food with the peppers, what do you do?
If you want to.
Oh, you're shy now. This whole display is beautiful. This is one of my favorite areas in the entire market. The melon seeds, agusi, is used for so much. It's eaten raw, eaten toasted. You can make a granola. Soya beans, obviously we can use for milk and everything else under the sun. Hominy right here. We have red beans, which we use for wache. Rice is such a huge staple in a lot of the West African diets. Rice was braided in women's hairs when they were enslaved, and they brought this to the new country. The spirit of the food was obviously something that spoke to our ancestors. They wanted to preserve as much as possible, all while being entrapped and enslaved, which is absolutely crazy to think about. Hello, hello, hello. Me pick green one. And then I'll take this one.
You would have seen West Africa, you would have seen Ghana in me, whether I was a designer, whether I was an architect. The fact that I'm a chef, I'm actually able to speak fluently about the food directly, and I take that with a lot of pride.
I am quite literally a kid in a candy store, it feels like. Ghana, Ivory Coast as well, two of the top leaders in the entire world when it comes to production of cocoa and the pods. The majority of the world probably gets their chocolate from here. It's amazing to be here front and center and to see how beautiful this is in its natural state and to know that it turns into chocolate later on. This is the source, this is the genesis right here. An
America, Thanksgiving is probably the only time where we have a set time for bringing family and friends together to sit down and eat throughout the 365 days in the year. This happens every single day here in Africa. It's a traditional thing to do.
For people of color, food is currency. When we didn't own ourselves, we owned that dish, we owned what we put on the table, what we harvest in the fields, and there was pride, there was dignity that had to come from that, a sense of wealth.
Yeah. We're essentially carrying the names of our ancestors and the dishes. And a lot of stuff is oral, it's orally, we don't write down our recipes.
Our history is oral. We're not even supposed to be able to read and write. Let's be clear. Let's
we weren't
be clear.
allowed to. This is a really interesting time to be here too, because I think because of the events of 2020 in America, a lot of people are looking towards Africa in terms of cuisine and wanting to know more about it.
Prior to becoming a chef, I was working with the United Nations, traveled around the continent, visited over 40 countries, and I realized that in almost all the cities that I was living in, there was not a restaurant for that country where I felt that I could take my family. That was a large part of why I wanted to do what I do, which is find a space to showcase our jewels.
Enslaved people were the footprint and foundation on 5 continents. For many, many years, we've been left out of the contemporary modern culinary conversation. Anything that African people created was less than. It's called institutional racism. People of the diaspora from America, from Africa, from here and there, we weren't supposed to unite and talk about what we share. I mean, look at this table. We're doing that.
We are in the beautiful Cape Coast area of Ghana, Cape Coast Castle, where enslaved Africans were sent to a new world, and it's pretty emotional, it's pretty heavy. I'm so happy that I'm here because it gives me a full sense of who I am as an African and as an American, and those worlds kind of collide into this one space here at Cape Coast. For a really long time, I was always ashamed. I remember as a kid. I don't know if it was a shame, I don't know if it was a embarrassment, but I do know that I didn't know who I was fully. And being here kind of just brings all of that back. It kind of boils down to just being proud to be an African, but then proud to be an American as well, with all the trials and tribulations that happen on both sides. It's an identity that I'm so proud of now, and I'm happy to showcase as well as I can, as authentic as I can. I hope I can carry on that torch of pride to the second generation, my daughter, so she doesn't have to waste time thinking about who she is or where she comes from. To be here, to be in this country, to think about myself and my career, my family, it kind of just brings everything all full circle. I feel very privileged to be an ambassador, to be someone who can help bridge that gap between the two countries and the diaspora. It is a big title, but I feel equipped, and I hope I do it justice.